So let's attempt my first YouTube video. This is going to be really rough. It's going to be a little frustrating for you, a little frustrating for me, but I encourage you to stick through it because I think I'm bringing some pretty decent information and there will be some new things to come as we progress. So, for those that don't know, my name is Ray Carrick and I co-own RJs Treasure in Dallas, Texas, a resale shop that we've been going now for about 2.5 years. And I'd like to share what I have learned and I would like to explain some of the things that we are doing. And this is also, the YouTube video itself is also part of my social media push, which goes in sync with my long-term vision. So to kind of explain a little bit where we come from, 2.5 years ago we started. Javier moved here from El Salvador, and I had quit selling insurance 2 days prior, kind of on a, I figured out that I wasn't very good at it. So Javier and I sat down and said, "Hey, have you ever seen this show?" And showed him Storage Wars. And he's like, "Oh yeah. So would you like to do that?" And he was like, "Sure." So we went to dinner and sketched out a business plan. Well, that was 2.5 years ago, and there's been a lot of learning and a lot of growing, and we've had to fight. Um, my wife, for the first year, year and a half, didn't understand and didn't wanted to argue with me a little bit and kind of give me a hard time about selling pots and pans that she knows that you can buy at Walmart for $80 for $2 and $3, and it didn't make sense to her. But after 2.5 years, we've come to a place and there's understanding and all that. And part of what she didn't understand, and a lot of people don't understand, and I have this conversation to other resellers all the time. You have to figure out, if you're going to start any kind of business, you have to figure out what you are doing. So for me, when I sat down, I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to emulate the best. I'm going to emulate Walmart. And how does Walmart make money? Walmart sells it cheap, sells it fast, and sells just an absolute metric ton of it. Now there are other logistic things that go into that and whatnot, but that's the short and the skinny of it. So that has been my underlying philosophy since we started, and it hasn't made sense. A lot of people get in trouble, especially in the resale game, because this hat's worth $100, so I'm going to sit on it until somebody gives me $100, as opposed to recognizing that it's only actually worth what somebody is willing to give you. So, um, we've gotten to the point now where everything is pretty steady, and I have tracked some numbers and gotten to this point. And for those of you that have been following me on Instagram, I keep hashtagging 35 listings, and for me, that is the magic number. What I have to post every day in Facebook Marketplace to keep my phone ringing the way that I need to ring to generate the revenue that I need to generate. Now, for you, that's depending upon what kind of business you're doing, that's going to be a little bit different. You have to dig into different metrics to make that work. But it can be figured out, and the important thing is to pay attention to your numbers. I've also talked to another reseller that runs 3 stores and is doing a little over $1 million a year. And I asked him, hey, how, where he sources his inventory from. I asked him, hey, how much are you paying per lot on your inventory? And he's like, I don't know. I just keep track of how much I'm spending. And we got to chatting about it. And it's like, hey, if you look at the number from this perspective, it's going to give you a different view on how and where to spend your money. So now, for those of you who don't know, the way I source my inventory is I buy storage lockers. Um, Unfortunately, because of some of the people that I work with and how I feel about it, that's not going to be something I'm going to be able to bring you. But I hope to bring at some point some content on Instagram, little short, 60-second clips where you can see a little bit what I'm doing. Because the idea that I have behind the social media is to push my network and kind of explain what I'm doing to, one, be able to sell more product, and two, maybe encourage some folks out there to do it as a side hustle, make a little bit extra money, because there's plenty of money to be had in reselling. So uh, let's see here. So so we understand my long-term vision. Of course, the way I operate today is I want to be like Walmart, sell fast, sell cheap. But in today's market, you have to be able to compete with Amazon to be large scale. So to do that, you have to bring them used product direct to people's door. Now there are other websites like eBay and things of that nature that you can use to do that. And of course, Amazon does used product as well. But if Jeff Bezos is waiting for the net person to come and take him down, who am I to say that I can't? So for me to position that, one of the things I realized a couple weeks ago is that I have to make a social media push. I have to build a network because it's not going to work the days of just putting something up and people showing up don't work anymore. It doesn't work in brick and mortar. It's not going to work on a website. It's not going to work on a social media page. You have to grind it out and build that network so you can drive that traffic. So that's what I'm doing, and I think the greatest value that I can bring to people that want to consume my content is going to be my business acumen. You know, I learn lots of things, and I've learned some things the hard way. And for perfect example, saw Gary Vee today talking about that people are the driving metric, and that's true. But he's kind of, and that's the wrong way to say that. See, it's going to get a little rough. I want to speak with my hands and cover my face. Um, but anyways, let's go back. So I've been saying for years that because I was taught coming up, working in retail, that you are what your numbers say you are. We got to beat last year. We got to do better than last month. We got to do better than yesterday. And there's some truth to that in that, your results are your results and you do own them and you are responsible for them and accountable to them. However, when you're looking at you manage people and you manage your business and you talk about um, you can't you can't control that. I can't control that whether somebody's going to buy something or not. I can't control how much somebody's going to be willing to give me for a particular piece that I have for sale. But what I can control is that the number of pieces that I am selling. So it's your daily behaviors and your daily activity that generates those results. So if you're doing car sales, you got to send out a certain number of letters every day. You got to make a certain number of phone calls every day. You got to talk to a certain number of people every day, and that will generate your results. It's the same with doing anything else. You have to do something every day, mo- moving forward, so that long term you get your daily activity that you're looking for, your daily results that you're looking for, and you build that over time. So for me, again, going back to the hashtag 35 listings, that is my number. That is what works for me. I live in Dallas, Fort Worth, so there's 7.5 million people. 99% of them are on Facebook, and probably 60% of them are on the marketplace. So when I post a listing, it probably gets seen, three, four, five, 600 times, um, and that's an average listing. I've had listings that I've had 1,500 views in 2 hours. I've had listings where I've gotten 240 messages in 90 minutes. It all changes, all different, and that's part of when you're selling random items. You have to learn how to do your research. You have to learn how to price things to get the right kind of activity, because I've also seen it happen where I post something for $30 one day and nothing, and I post it for $25 the next day, and my phone just absolutely blows up. So, but anyways, so this is what I'm doing. I want to bring you a little bit of relatively valuable business content. And if we're going to talk to, I like to say that you aren't your results. No, that's not right either. I'm gonna have to ask my wife. I said it wrong. Dang it, my silver bullet, and I lost it. Um, so, but anyways, this is kind of a test, and I would love to see. Obviously, the first people that are going to see this are going to be my friends, my family, because I don't really have a market outside of the people that I know. So I'm going to lay this I'm going to post it on Facebook, I'm going to post it on Instagram, and I would encourage you to take a look, give me some feedback, some critique. I can already tell, having been on for 9.5 minutes, that I need to do a better job of writing, do a better job of outlining. It all sounds much better in my head than it does when I actually say it. Uh, so please leave comments. Obviously, I would love if you would like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and my brain froze. Um, Eventually, I will be bringing content on Mixer. The name is RJs Treasure. Um, so leave comments. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know what you would like to hear. And I appreciate y'all's time.